So, brothers and sisters, something very valuable has come up which I want to share with you. So suddenly, New Zealand is issuing, it states here from their department, their Ministry of Health, which could pretty much be their Ministry of Truth, is insisting on a $15,000 fine or 6 months of incarceration for those who are not abominated. Now, this is kind of a serious thing because according to this person who is, first of all, operating completely illegally, there's no title to this person. We don't know what this person's title, and I'm not talking about doctor. I'm talking about what's their position. Normally the position is written underneath the strawman name of this person, which is not here. And then on top of it, they're not speaking on behalf of the Ministry of Health in Manatua. They're actually operating in and of for themselves, which means they are personally liable for any legal suit that comes up against them. But never mind that legally they have written this completely illegitimately. Let's go and have a look at this particular comment, which I wrote to a friend of mine, and I said, whatever you do, don't get left behind. The rapture is upon us. God is going to rescue us from this. And I wrote here for her, sadly, you've left it until too late. How are you ever going to quickly let your son and daughter in on the truth that I've been sharing with you? Only the truth will rapture you and your family. Manel, trust me on this, more than anything that you have ever trusted me about. Biblically, Satan force injects the world in 6 days. Remember, he cannot appear on the scene until every single human being that's left over on the earth has his DNA inside of them. Now, for further information about do we lose our salvation if our DAN is changed, I've specifically said that differently, go to the Prophecy Club. There's a sermon on there which is really worth watching, and it's all about will you lose your salvation if your DAN has been changed. Obviously, use your discernment here. It's a very, very important little sermon for you to view, and absolutely worth going for as a sermon to study. And I've written here, Jesus is coming for us. In Revelation 22:12, he says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be." Now, I understand that Revelation applies for the nation of Israel because they will be left behind for the most part. Very few numbers of them are going in the rapture because they've given their lives to Christ. But the rest of the apple of God's eye will remain here on earth to go through the evangelism of the 144,000 who will also in turn have their own rapture. There are 3 raptures, as I keep saying, and many are saying it too. We've all seen it for some obscure reason. Many people have not seen the 3 raptures, but there are 3 harvests. There's the wheat, the barley, and the grapes, not to be confused with the gleanings. So, brothers and sisters, we are, without a doubt, going home soon. And those who will be left behind will be forcefully injected. And this is going to happen in the days immediately following the rapture. Day 1 will be containment. Now, I've told you about the document, MEDA, which is the Mass Evacuation Deployment Action. Mass evacuation being the rapture, that's the government document. And the deployment action will be the containment, the immediate containment, the very next day following worldwide broadcasts and press releases and video announcements, emergency broadcasts. Day 2 will be the roundup of all the people that are not abominated yet. 3 will be the camps, setting up of the camps, opening the camps. 4 will be the forced abominations. Day 5, forced abominations. Day 6, forced abominations. And day 7 will be the instant insistence on the world now being remotely controlled and people having to worship. And this, of course, falls into line with what we know in terms of, at the midpoint, 1,290 days at the start, immediately following the rapture of unprecedented peace, as they say, but first the whole world has to be abominated. The sons of Apollo come down to the earth, present themselves as the so-called Pleiadians, and there's a lot of benefits to joining with the DNA that's being given on offer by these so-called aliens, these extra-terrestrials, which are no more than the fallen angels that God has been warning us about, that also came unto the daughters of men in Genesis. And then we're going to see how the world seems to be going through the routine of dealing with the fact that the multitude, the giant multitude that's now arrived in heaven, of course, and we're now seeing this entire thing unfold upon the earth from the mezzanine,